Hello there Scapers, my name is Zenevilius and welcome to this new video in which we're going to review the buff bar update that mod Shauny's been working on for a while, actually 2 months or so, since the game jam in February. But first let's have a look at some of the other things that were updated with the patch notes. The first thing is that the attuned crystal teleport seed has a different color, and I'm using the new NXT client. Apparently it has some improved features. I'm not going to go into them in this video, but you can have a look in the description below for the links. I was going to save something else for number 2, but looks like Britain has achieved virtual level 120 in all skills. You're going to get a global broadcast for getting that, I guess, which is quite nice, because why not? If you're going to get a server broadcast for getting 120 in one skill, why not get a global one for getting 120 in all skills? Okay, so the buff bar has two sections now, one with negative effects and one with positive effects. You can actually move this around by unlocking your interface, and you should be able to see it like you can see here. That box encompasses all the negative ones, so I've got 47 minutes on my Sign of Life cooldown, whereas I haven't got any positive effects right now, so that's why you can't see that. But if I activate an aura, let's not activate this one because it's going to be useful for other things. Let me activate something I never use, like Equilibrium. So that should come up here like it has, and that contains all the normal things you'd expect, like familiar timers, overloads, prayer renewals and all that, as well as some new stuff. Let's have a look at what these new things are going to be. One of them, of course, is what I just mentioned. Before we do that, there's another important thing. You can actually see your avatar buffs now. So I'm getting 3% from this world and 3% from being near it, I guess. Let's move away, see if that works. Oh, I've got anticipation, as you'd expect, a positive effect, and I moved too far away, so that's quite nice. Now let's go to my favorite place in the world, the Lumbridge Dummies Kappa. Looks like they decrease the size of the action bars, which is quite annoying because I have to okay, it's not annoying, it's fine guys. Let's attack this dummy and see some of the new buffs that Shauny has implemented. Alright, so what's that? Aftershock, 4%, 12%. Okay, I think it's charging up, so when it's at 100% it will let out an explosion. That's quite nice. You can actually predict when this is going to happen now, so you can actually switch out if Araxor is about to reflect, for example. What else do we have here? Let's do the enhanced Excalibur. So I've got a separate cooldown for that. I don't know if that stacks or rejuvenate. It does, okay. That's alright though, because the Excalibur cooldown isn't affected by the Acto Armor reset ability. So yeah. It's also got the Crackling perk cooldown, which is good as well. Again, that's going to be extremely useful. It really underestimated, but it's going to be so useful at high enrage Araxor, Virago, all sorts of things really. It also shows me how much my defense stat has been boosted by due to the Excalibur spec. I don't think it does this with overloads, actually I should check that, but it's quite nice that it shows the number and I don't have to hover over it in order to see how much it's boosted by. Is it going to work with the Slayer boost? 6 minutes will not drain while this is active. Well, that was there before, the Slayer level boost from the Wilder Pie, but it doesn't show the actual number of Slayer levels that you've been boosted by. That would have been useful, but oh well, it's not a problem. Overloads, okay, overloads basically override any skill icons, so I guess that's good because I don't want too many to just clutter up my buff bar. Yeah, it can get a bit too much at times. Dreadnips, that's going to be useful, isn't it? 60 seconds, wait, what? A Dreadnought attacks for 60 seconds now, I thought it was 30 odd. Okay, 60 seconds it is then. That's also useful for Telos, definitely. And I'll need it whenever I get the base pet, and then I get the Mallory pet, and then I can do some Telos. How about that? Will that ever happen? I don't know guys, but we digress. Blood Essences also have their cooldowns, so let me wear it and activate it. A more powerful effect is active. Damn it, I need to wait for my overload to run out. Well, that was clever. Here we go, Aftershock is about to do it. Come on. Where's Aftershock? Why didn't it? Yeah, there it did it, guys. While we wait for the overload to go down to 0, let's have a look at some of the other stuff. So apparently you'll get an NPC Targeting Interface whenever you use special effects, special attacks from a select number of special attack weapons, such as the Gothic Staff. So the Gothic Staff needs 35% adrenaline, something like that, and we are here. So will we get an interface? No, we won't. Maybe because this is a dummy. Let's try targeting something more our size, shall we? Slightly bigger than our size, but it will have to do in order to do this testing. So I can test that special attack. Hopefully it applies to all of them. I don't want to waste Statius Warhammer charges to test whether all these special weapons will have... Wait, let me drink my anti-fire. There we go. Alright, so I should be able to do it now. Will I get an interface? No, it won't. I don't know what that meant in that case, but anyway, it works. That's all that matters. Alright, I should probably protect mage and keep attacking. So what else is there? There is the blood essence, which I banked, which is no, I didn't bank it. It's here, guys. All right, activate it. It's got a cooldown. It's boosting your combat skills. It's got a cooldown of 20 seconds. Wonder what it'll do after 20 seconds. Anyone know? No? Oh, what do you know? Elite clue, first try. Huh. How about that? I actually thought I got the pet because I never get a loot beam for anything. I don't even get a loot beam for a visage these days, guys. I don't know how I got that. Anyway, so I'm assuming that meant my stats were only boosted for that long. At least 60 seconds. That's a bit glitched, isn't it? Okay, that's glitched. Let's get out of here before we die. It said 20 seconds on that. And my actor armor cooldown. Your mask have defensive reset will not activate for at least 60 seconds. That's cool. That's in sync with the chatbot message that says a surge of energy courses through you, preparing you for the battles ahead. Cool that they've done that, and unfortunately it's got the Terralith armor icon, whereas I'm wearing Primeval, but I'm not going to complain about that. And it also shows how much my stats have been drained by my combat stats. So I guess it only applies to combat stats, not to Slayer or any other stats, which I guess is what people would most look for. They want to see whether their combat stats are drained, not whether their skill stats are drained. Okay, I just read up how the Berserk Blood Essence works, and apparently it lasts for 20 seconds, but it has a 60-second cooldown, which is why people tend to use it at ROTS, because records are like sub 10 seconds if they're really going for records. So 20 seconds there, I can't deactivate it, I can't do anything, I just gotta wait 40 seconds after this timer runs out before I can reactivate it. That's the one which would have been useful in my opinion. Boost my stats by 14, that's fine. I think that's passive, is it? Never mind, there's a mix of the two. So yeah, what would have been useful is the timer that shows how much I have before I can reactivate it, rather than how long I have. Well, both, to be honest. How long it's going to be active for, as well as how long I have to wait after it becomes deactivated. You can also filter which ones actually show. For example, I don't think I really want to see pet effects when I'm actually... Okay, familiar effects perhaps, but not pet effects while I'm doing bossing. Do I really need to see skilling related icons? No, unless I'm actually skilling, like Prifty and Steven cooldown. Ah, that's interesting. But most of the others you probably do want to see while you're bossing. When you're skilling, you probably don't want to see most of them, except maybe invention perks, or as skilling effects, and perhaps some other stuff as well. So I just realized what it meant by NPC Targeting Interface. First, let's make sure we don't die. Yeah, we're gonna die. Be right back. I'm a noob. NPC Targeting Interface. I'm pretty sure what that means now, but I probably won't be able to test it out this kill because this boss doesn't have that much HP. Anyway, I think that's what it means. So I just cast it. If you have a look, it's got defense decreased. Each stack increases a chance to hit this target. Defense stat reduced. And if I do it with the Statius Warhammer, let's do that. Come on. Alright, let's cast it. I just did it again. 7. So I think that's affinity. So Gothic Staff has an affinity of 2. Statius Warhammer has an affinity of 7. That's exactly what this number means. Some other stuff will add up if you have it, like Quake has an affinity of 2, I believe. But I'm not going to do that now because I don't have a melee weapon and it's about to die, so... And so am I, to be honest. Let's get out of here. Before we test some more stuff, apparently there's a mini fix to this action bar problem. The fact that you can't minimize it or maximize it. Well, I guess it's maximized already. What am I saying? So you can choose the legacy interface skin, and that allows you to... Okay, it doesn't really increase the size, but at least it allows you to minimize it. If you turn it off, you can't maximize it, but you need to turn it back on to be able to maximize it. Oh, that's a nice Yakamaru pet. I wish I got it, you know? Maybe I need to do a non-loot run. Yakamaru. Because that's how I got my Beastmaster pet. I just needed Yakka, but I did a full raid anyway, and I got the Deus Ex helmet. Anyway, we digress again for the 100th time. What I was gonna say is, the time has come to test out what Shauny has done with respect to the big boys, if you like. AOD, Beastmaster and Yakamaru. Let's start off with solo AOD. Gonna set a world record here by achieving something that apparently could not ever be achieved according to Mod Ramen, and then Lit went ahead and soloed it, and he had to eat something. What was it? He had to alch his blue party out. That was it. No, he didn't. That was a troll, guys. That was a troll. But anyway, let's go in and test out these rage stacks and hope we don't die. Phew. I'm a little nervous, not gonna lie. I swapped out my Leviathan ring for a ring of death because I know I'm gonna die. I can't tell you out of here. This is all just to test out that one buff bar icon out of the 245. One buff bar icon, guys. Also some more, but I didn't necessarily need to come to AOD for that and kill myself. Anyway, here we go. So there we go. That's a revenge stack. Where is it? There you go. Next we'll reset your defensive abilities of 5, 10 and 15 stack. That's handy to know. I didn't know that myself, lol. So yeah, that's basically all I wanted to show you guys. Wait a minute, no it isn't. Let's test out these revenge stacks, shall we? So evoke this guy. I just got dropped. I couldn't even test it out. At least I tested out the mass cap defensive reset effect again for you guys. And yeah, rip 15% of my ring of death. Okay, so I just noticed that these affinity icons actually appear on dummies as well, which doesn't make sense. Why did it just went away and it came back? What would have been useful is for these to have a timer as well, because I believe they only last for an hour and then you have to recast them. Seeing as loads of other things have timers, this would have been nice to have had a timer. Also, I've heard reports that if you have a bunch of debuffs on this bar, the affinity debuff icon is the last one, so it gets pushed out, so you can't see it if there are too many other icons before it. For example, vulnerability, stats drains, defense reduction with quake and things like that. I guess they could have done this a little bit better, but I'm grateful that they do have stacks showing anyway. Also, Detonate has a timer apparently, so as you can see 40% upon hitting 100% detonator for maximum damage. Okay, that's handy, you can time it, but I guess the top PVMers know how long it takes and know exactly when to time it anyway. For example, in Virago, after a reflect, that's the best case I can think of for it, but there might be loads of other cases as well. Not great that it jumps from 40% to 100%. I was kind of hoping it would gradually go from 0 to 100%, so you know exactly when to activate it. Alright, so here's Beastmaster. I need to evoke it, and I didn't even know it had 4 different attacks. Here we go, there's the first one. Rage, each stack increases damage taken by Beastmaster Derzak. That makes sense. That's what you would expect, similar to the AOD Rage effect. What are these other stacks? Let's find out soon enough, I guess. Here, boy. So that's the third pet, which is alive right now. Anyway, while we're at it, let's test out this revenge stacking thingy. Revenge. So you got 18 seconds and I've got 4 stacks. That's in brackets there. 13 seconds, 5 stacks. That's pretty cool. And that would have been really useful for the other things which don't have a timer, and it would have been useful to have a timer for them, such as this affinity debuff from the Gothic Staff special or the Quake ability. Alright, that's another one. The beast bites into your flesh. I think that's the pet's bitten. Each stack increases all damage taken. I got 15 stacks from Beastmaster Derzak. That doesn't sound like a lot. Actually, that's about the same as AOD when it's at max stacks. Anyway, I've got 2 out of the 4 FX right now. Pretty cool to see, and the stacks just reduce back down. Not sure how that works. I didn't use freedom. Did I use freedom? Actually, I did use freedom. That probably makes sense there, guys. Alright, let's use transfigure. That's another thing they updated. So wait, I just onslaughted. How clever of me. Alright, transfigure. So it should tell me how much HP I will heal. Maybe 9%. 9%. That wasn't much. So I just used rejuvenate, but it still counts as Excalibur. So not sure how that works. Surely this should be slightly different because oh, he died. I forgot to evoke. Rip. Enhanced Devoted just activated and it died again. Couldn't show you guys that, but yeah, it did have a timer like it does for Devotion, the prayer, the ability. So my defensive's just reset, but my Excalibur timer's still there, even though I can cast Rejuvenate again, so they didn't fix that. I was hoping they did. And the Rejuvenate to finish just reset my Excalibur timer, as you just saw there. Okay, here we go. First look at Yakimaro's new buff icons and drench stacks. Here we go. That looks awesome actually. I guess everyone can see that because it's on you guys, not me. Lol. That's not bad. It looks quite good. Looks better than the Beastmaster stacks. I had no idea what stood for which. So when I freed him, it should go down to 0. It should take away 5 stacks. So from 7 it goes down to 2 and went up 1 stack. So 3. Yay! My Primeval just reset my defensives. Awesome. I can use Rejuvenate and Immortality in case it does that. Okay, I'm top 5 DPS. So when I freed him, it should go down 5 stacks. So it went down 8 stacks, what the hell? Okay, that's fine, I don't mind that. Looks like they also updated the icons at the top of your screen, which basically explain what each pool does. Something I never read. Something I never read previously, but it would have been really useful on day of release, I guess. So yeah, that's pretty much all the updates they did for the buff bars. There might be a few more skilling ones I need to cover, but that will be after this Yakka kill. Okay, it halves your stacks, whatever they were. That makes more sense. I should have known this, I made a Yakka guide. Anyway, Yakkamara is poisoned and will take double damage. That's not true, it's not poisoned anymore. You got that one wrong, Jagex. But I do like the new icons nevertheless. What do you know, I might actually get this. We failed a kill when I was basing. Will I get a pet? Ah, damn. I thought the recipe for pets was to do no loot runs. Oh well. And no, I don't think they altered the color of the buff icons too much, just the outline. There's red for negative effects and green for positive or neutral effects. Alright, so just a few more things to cover. Mainly skilling related, and skilling actually has quite a few really useful things that I didn't even think about before, and one of them is the following. So the wise perk, so it should give me a timer or some sort of indication as to how much I've got left. So I finish this action perhaps. It's just got an icon. When hitting 100% you'll no longer gain additional experience. I guess my percentage right now is too low, it's not even 1%, so that's why it's not showing. There we go, it's 1% now, and when it gets to 2% it will get there. So that should reset every day, and extremely useful to keep track of when you hit your cap. With the Wise 3 perk, that'll be when you gain 1.66666 mil XP overall, which equates to 50k bonus XP. Also, I'm kind of waiting for this guy to spot me, because apparently the strikes from each of the clans within the Elf City is meant to come up over here as well. There we go, so 20 minutes before I can loot from Heffin people again, so I guess I don't have to do this for everyone, but basically you get the idea of it. Yeah, it's pretty good, isn't it? Another very useful thing for skillers, especially those going for 120 thieving, I suppose. I do like this icon, it matches the teletabs of Cyclosis, so yeah, I guess that these skilling buff icons work. They work really well. I'm very happy to see them in place, and I think that pretty much wraps up all the buff bar updates. There are some other updates you might want to check out in the description below, especially updates to Gemstone dragons. They're not that bad to kill, not as bad as I thought they were anyway, before their drops were double last week in the video that I made, and the combat XP has also been increased. The Gemstone Armor set effect doesn't require all 5 pieces, just 3. If you have more than 3, then you get improved chances of effects occurring. Wait a minute, it's not meant to be 8%, it's meant to be 0.8%. So this bar actually goes to 1000, not 100%. 1000% is when you've reached your cap. That makes sense. I was like, no way I gained 8% of 1.6 mil XP so quickly. So hopefully that gets fixed. So it looks like I forgot some stuff, and we're back to the place where I'm most likely to die, it looks like. Alright, so what do I need to check? First, Goragian mushrooms. Not sure who eats these, but yeah, it lasts for 5 seconds, 10 seconds, and the cooldown is 60. So it's a good thing that it shows both of them. Also, I think we missed debilitate. Because I didn't show it before, but apparently you can see a timer for it as well, which is very nice as well, because it's useful to know when it runs out, in the same way as it's useful to know when Reflect or Barricade runs out when you're tanking. So my portent just activated, I think. If it didn't, it should very soon. Yeah, my portent just activated, and yeah, 10 seconds before I can activate again. So that's one more thing that they did. I'm pretty sure that just about sums them all up. I forgot to discuss the stone immunity timer that comes with Transfigure, but you probably saw it when I used Transfigure, and that's pretty much it. All in all, I'm very happy with this update. Also, I didn't manage to show you guys the icons when you're pet tanking at Beastmaster, but yeah, it's similar to when you've been bitten, but it's got a slightly different icon. And it should be quite useful for new PVMers who didn't know what these pets did and what biting and combusting and all that actually meant. If you hover your mouse over it, it should actually explain it. So that's pretty good. All in all, I'm very happy with this update. unlike last week's update. It's been an extremely useful update. A lot of work put into it by mod Shauny, and all the buff icons I've tested have been fairly accurate. There are a few little gripes here and there, but overall it's a very good update. A lot more useful for skillers than I originally thought. And yeah, there may be a few issues with NXT, but I hope they'll iron them out soon enough. And if you got a problem with your loading screen, I think I may have a quick fix for the short term. You can do it by going to graphics settings and unchecking the load screen box. There may be a few other things you can do. You might want to check online for that, but that's what I found from a few of my friends. And yeah, that's about it for this week's update. I'm very happy with it. Let me know your thoughts on the buff bar update and also the other stuff that came along with it. And yeah, I will see you guys in the next one after I find Hazelmere's signet ring. Kappa. Probably will find that before I find the base pet, to be fair.